Nikola Jokic was a second-round draft pick from Serbia, which basically means every NBA team had a chance to pick him and passed up on him for somebody else. But now he is a leader in the NBA's MVP race for a reason, because he is the best player on the best team in the Western Conference. And if you're honest, you probably can't name half of the players on the Denver Nuggets roster. And if you can, I bet you have an NBA League Pass subscription. In fact, the only other player on their roster who has ever been an NBA All-Star is DeAndre Jordan. And if you know anything about basketball, he played 15 minutes a game this season for less than half of it. So he ain't the reason why they're winning. Jokic has the Nuggets locked in as the number 1 seed, and defenders have every reason to be locked in on him when they play against Denver. So here is his case for the MVP, as a big man in a small ball league. And before I mention any numbers, it is impressive that a team of players who you'd barely recognize if they walked into Walmart is leading the Western Conference because of him. Jokic is the best at what he does. Statistically speaking, he's kinda like a Rubik's Cube. You can clearly see the different parts to his game, but it's hard to put it all together. He's second in the entire NBA in rebounds per game, but 18th in points per game at 24.5. We normally expect more scoring from an MVP, but Jokic ain't normal, because he's averaging 9 assists per game, and he is a 7-foot center. So he's top 5 in the league in assists. But to make all of this more confusing, his usage rate isn't even cracking the top 20. Beyond those numbers, Jokic makes a difference by being the best at what he does. JJ Redick pointed out on his podcast that a Nikola Jokic post-up is the most efficient play you could run to score a bucket in the last decade. That stat should not be ignored. And it is for reasons like this that Jokic is leading the NBA in player efficiency rating. And remember, that is the stat where Jordan and LeBron dominated the NBA for years. So it should be good enough for Jokic to win an MVP award. And on top of all that, Jokic is the heart and soul of the Nuggets, because nobody is scared to play against Jamal Murray and Michael Porter Jr. without Jokic in the lineup. Simply put, the Nuggets roster doesn't make much sense without Jokic. They have a point guard who's a below-average distributor, at least for a starting point guard in the NBA. And they don't really have any shot creators. Jokic is the engine that drives the offense, and almost any open shots that are generated started with him, which is why he's basically leading the league in assists as a center. In the age of small ball, Jokic is the anti-hero. He is a big man in a guards and wings league who is dominating by doing everything his way. The Nuggets may or may not win a championship, but because of a second-round draft pick from Serbia, who panned out better than anyone else could have hoped, they actually have a shot. Otherwise, they'd likely be headed to the lottery in the NBA draft, hoping to win the Wembanyama sweepstakes this year.